let's bring in Joey Harrington, Fox Sports college football analyst, joins us on the show. You're supposed to be unbiased, right, when it comes to the national title game?
You don't have to say supposed to be. I am unbiased.
You are?
I am very unbiased, completely, 100%.
Okay,
maybe a little bit. I'm going to root for Oregon. That doesn't make me unbiased, though.
And you're picking Oregon to win?
I'm picking Oregon for one very simple reason.
Okay.
So Oregon played in the national championship game, it was 2011 after the 10 season. Close game, Auburn and Oregon are the two highest scoring teams in the country. The game was I can't remember the final score, 21-19, right around 20. The difference, Auburn had Cam Newton, and he took them on a drive to win the game late. Oregon this time has Marcus Mariota, and Marcus is the best player in college football, and it is a quarterback-driven game at any level, whether it's Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Marcus Mariota or whoever it is. Quarterbacks win you football games, and if I'm putting money down, I'm putting it on Marcus.
What if he has a substandard game?
Then it's better than 99% of the quarterbacks still out there. I mean, that's the thing. His substandard.
Yeah.
And he has 40 touchdowns against 3 interceptions this year. He's never had a season with double-digit interceptions. I threw 5 in one game. He hasn't thrown 5 this season. He had a substandard game in the Rose Bowl, and they won by 39. He threw a pick. That's substandard for him.
And that pick wasn't even his fault.
Well, I threw it a little high.
No, I think the receiver ran the wrong route.
It's always the receiver.
Yeah, I know. Is Marcus the best quarterback in Oregon history?
Without a doubt. He was before he won the Heisman. He won before he was. Look, this guy is my friend and fellow Fox sports analyst Petros Papadakis calls Marcus a transcendent player. He is. He is a guy that no matter what discussion you put him in, and a lot of guys, you can't compare this generation to that generation. You can't compare this style to that style. You can't have that argument with Marcus. It doesn't matter what discussion you put him in. He is the best to ever play at Oregon. And frankly, and this isn't, there may be a little bit of emotion in it right now because it's fresh, but you could have the discussion that he should be in the talk of one of the greatest quarterbacks in college football history. Based on his 3-year body of work.
Well, you got to win. You got to win again.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. But he's on pace to set the all-time NCAA record for touchdown to interception ratio. The best in the history. Most touchdowns against the fewest interceptions. And by that definition, that's pretty much how you play the quarterback position.
Okay, but who's the best quarterback of all time, in your opinion?
In college football?
Yeah.
Boy. I think you have to put Tebow in that discussion. I think you have to put Danny Werfel in that discussion. Let me think. I wasn't ready for this one, boy. I think you have to put Leinart. You know what? I think I might go with Leinart.
Okay.
And this is obviously, I'm 36 years old, so the guys that I think of are going to be, probably 1990 and on. My first real remembrances are, that what I would say was the best backfield in college football history, which Rick Meyer, Jerome Bettis at fullback, and Reggie Brooks at tailback. That's maybe you could put Rick Meyer in that discussion. But I wasn't around for the Montana comeback in the Cotton Bowl. And
Joe wasn't a great college quarterback. Joe had a great moment. Joe had a hard time, starting. You look at Drew Henson at Michigan. He's starting over Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're great quarterback. Doug Flutie to me is better than the quarterbacks that you mentioned there. I thought
that's a good point. Yeah, I'd entertain that.
Yeah, but there have been guys who've won the Heisman who didn't deserve to win the Heisman, but they were the quarterback on a great team. And what we've done with quarterbacks is different now because everybody's running the spread, whereas before you ran the option wishbone. And maybe you threw, 14 times a game. So I remember Pat Hayden when he was at USC. I think he threw like 7 touchdown passes in the year they won a national title. Like it was something crazy where you're going,
But he only had 10 attempts.
Yeah, we didn't need to have quarterbacks throwing the ball. It was student body right for USC. So the position has changed, and everybody's putting up great numbers. But I'm with you on Mariota. I just don't know if he's going to be a great pro, though, Joey.
Here's what I'm going to argue against it. I understand the basis of the argument why people doubt that spread offense quarterbacks aren't going to make good NFL quarterbacks. And it's because it goes all the way back to high school. When all these high schools are implementing this new, well, it's not really new. It's just it's a new way to run the old triple option, the old wishbone. You just take the third back, and your pitch man becomes the bubble screen outside. But you take your best athlete and you put him at quarterback in high school because you got to have the ball in his hands. And if he is an adequate thrower of the football, he can put up yards because you're just spreading the field. And then you get these guys that they move on to college, and they're better runners than they are passers, but they put up big numbers because of the offense they play in. But if you watch Marcus, and so I understand that argument, but if you watch Marcus, he's not just bubble screens and quick screens, which is, to your point, you see somebody, goes 21 for 27 for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, 75% of those passes were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they hit a deep one.
Yeah.
Marcus throws the 17-yard dig, and he throws the post for a touchdown, and he steps up in the pocket, even though he's sitting in shotgun, and he throws the comeback to the outside. So he makes all the throws that Jameis Winston does from his pro-style offense. So he makes the throws, even though he's in that offense.
Okay, but let's take off the field out just for a moment. Let's take character or whatever you want to call it and just look at physical ability to play the position. Who is more ready right now, Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota?
I think if you take physical ability only, it's Marcus Mariota because his mechanics are better, his footwork is better. Winston is he's a long strider, kind of has that big release. Oftentimes, which makes him a little bit late on some of his throws, but he can get away with it in college football because he's got a good enough arm. I think what makes Jameis Winston a great quarterback is the fact that nothing will ever take away from his confidence. And that is key. And I'll tell you right now, that's one of the reasons why I struggled in the NFL is because I started, we lost a few games, and, I'm a rookie, and you make some mistakes, and you lose a few games, you start to go back and change some things, and those don't work, so you start to doubt yourself, and the moment you doubt is the moment you hesitate. And when you hesitate on a throw, you're going to be late, and when you're going to be late in the NFL, a DB steps in front and picks it and takes it for 6. And then you doubt yourself some more. Nothing that ever happens to Jameis Winston takes away his confidence. He lost by 40 points in the Rose Bowl and said, that game could have gone either way. No, it couldn't have. You lost by 40.
Okay.
But nothing on the off-the-field stuff takes away from Jameis's confidence. So he's going to go out there and he's going to throw it, and he's going to throw it, and he's going to throw it, and he's going to throw it until it works. And that's what you need in the NFL is a complete and total confidence in yourself.
All right, I'll leave you with this. Ohio State will win if
Ezekiel Elliott goes for 2.25 and 2 touchdowns. Isn't that what 239? What's his number been the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, big numbers.
That's the difference. It's the 3 games that Oregon has lost in the last 2 years. Arizona twice. Kadeem Carey went big. Stanford. Tyler Gaffney went big last year. Teams that run the ball 50 to 60 times, or they're able to run the ball 50 to 60 times against Oregon, they can have some success because they control the ball, they keep it out of Marcus's hands, they control the tempo, and that's the key. Is with Oregon, they just grind you and grind you and grind you, and they get it to the point where it's close at halftime, and then you just break, like Florida State did. They're just going to, if you allow them to get that tempo going, they will break you eventually. But if you can control the ball and control the tempo of the game, you got yourself a chance. And Ohio State has Urban Meyer. I mean, let's be honest. Once Braxton Miller got hurt, everybody thought they were dead. Okay, JT comes in, has one of the best seasons in the history of Big Ten football, statistically speaking. And, then he goes down, you think they're dead again. Cardale comes in and blows out Wisconsin and beats Alabama. So a lot of credit's got to be given to Urban Meyer for that, too. So, but I think Ezekiel is the key. If they can run the football and run it consistently, they got a chance.
Thank you, Joey. Have a great weekend.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Thanks, buddy. That's Joey Harrington, former Ducks quarterback. now working for Fox Sports.